Houston and Texas Tech, one of the good matchups coming up on Saturday. We got Texas Tech currently in this one around a 3-point home favorite, 65.5 the total in this one. Houston, a massive win against UTSA, an incredible game. We mentioned it earlier when we talked about UTSA. And look, the defense made plays when they had. It wasn't a great game from a Houston defense that we think is going to be pretty solid this year, as the Roadrunners offense had some success. But, when they needed a stop late in the game, they got it, Houston's defense, and get the win against UTSA. But again, you're coming off that big comeback win, went 3 overtimes. It went to the 2-point conversion attempt exchange, part of the overtime, to get that victory. And now you got to go on the road and you got to play another tough game inside your own state against Texas Tech. Unfortunately for Texas Tech, because I was really lining up to maybe look toward the Red Raiders here. Certainly from a spot perspective, it was lining up pretty nicely for them. But quarterback injury to Tyler Shuck already. It's such a shame to see it, because last year he had an injury that derailed the season. And again, last week he gets hurt and is now out for at least 2 to 3 weeks, again to his collarbone, and a collarbone injury once again for him. So Donovan Smith will be taking over at the quarterback spot here for Texas Tech in this game. Smith was pretty solid last week when he came in for Tyler Shuck. But again, you have to remember this is going to be a much taller task for Texas Tech in this game, facing a Houston defense that, they had their hiccups, I guess you could say, last week. Did the Houston defense play as well as you would have wanted? No. But definitely Texas Tech's offensively going to find it much tougher sledding this week after the 63-10 scrimmage they essentially had last week against Murray State. So, and again, no Shuck, so you're going to see Donovan Smith. Donovan Smith can move, though. He's got some athleticism. His accuracy kind of comes and goes, but he's a guy that started a bunch of games for Texas Tech already. So he's not an inexperienced quarterback. I still lean Texas Tech a little bit, but obviously disappointing from their standpoint to see the news about Tyler Shuck. And give Clayton Tune credit. Rough start to the game, fourth quarter and overtime. That guy was terrific. Made all the plays, even ran the football, the flip into the end zone to score one of their the 2-point conversion that won the game for Houston. Give him credit. That guy's a competitor. He put his body on the line. He ran the football a lot more with that game on the line. And Clayton Tune's not necessarily a guy that's a running quarterback. We think of him more as a pocket passer, but that was a great gutsy performance by him after a bad start for him and that offense last week. I lean Tech, but just a lean as of right now. What are you thinking here, C-Mac? Houston, Texas Tech. Maybe with the quarterback change, this total might be a bit high. What do you think?
It is high. I don't know if I can get there. Yeah, with this total. I don't know if I bet this game at all, but I think Smith's pretty good. I think at home, this is not going to be easy. I like Houston. I don't think it was going to be easy against UTSA in that building. They end up winning, obviously not covering. I haven't seen enough from Tech. And last year they were so up and down. They'd have a couple big wins and they'd have these horrible losses, even at home. It seems like the defense seems a little bit better. I know they got some dangerous wideouts. Bradley, there's a few others. So maybe this is a shootout. And Houston has not been great as a road favorite. That's just it. They just haven't. Tech's been pretty good here, ATS at home. So I'm with you. I lean Texas Tech here, just off the early line.
All right, leaning toward Texas Tech here early. Keep in mind, though, with Texas Tech, this is important to point this out. They are playing lightning fast pace-wise this year. Something definitely you want to keep in mind, because guess who they have right now coming over from Western Kentucky, of course, Kitley. You remember how quick and just how quick and up-tempo they were, that Western Kentucky offense last year with Bailey Zappi and Kitley, who's now with Tech, and they're playing that same warp speed pace. So keep that in mind. That's another reason why this total is so high.